Hello everyone, today I'm gonna make a quick guide on how to play Japan. Let's start with the research here. Now for the construction. And now let's go to the military factories. You delete the tank, you don't want any tanks. Also I like to delete here this one and just keep one plane, which is gonna be this one I think. Yeah, it's gonna be this one. It's gonna be the close air support. And I change it to this one, so I keep here the production. Now for your navy, I like to keep this carrier here. I don't want this battleship. I usually delete the battleship. I delete this carrier. I delete also this one. I usually leave the rest because they are mostly completed and they don't take too much time. I also leave submarines here. It doesn't matter. You can actually delete the submarines if you don't want them. And I usually leave 2 here on convoys for the rest of the game. Now for the research of Japan, you go here for the historical path, purge the code of action, your first focus. Now your second focus should be guide the Zaibatsus. Here, the third focus, national mobilization law, nationalize the war industry, national defense state, so you can get this on very early. Next, you take the research slot and then you go this path, license conference, a Great Asian Copper Sphere, and you go for the Marco Polo with war with Japan. Now, once you complete this, you go here and you start the new naval here. You go down the career path. Here you get the research bonus for the fighter and you get the 0. Now after that, you can come here and you can continue down. You can take this. This is very important once you defeat China because of the aluminium, and you basically continue down. Also, this is also very important. Demand Indonesia, there will be a decision here and you get the rubber from Indonesia for free. And yeah, your last focus should be about this and this, and you are ready. And also you can do whatever focus. Also, this is important to do at one point because it gives you 10% division attack for all your divisions. This one is very strong. So that's about it for the focus tree of Japan. It's pretty simple. Here, when you start as Japan, you trade with the United States for 2 oil, 2 factors for oil. Just close this and you're ready. Now let's go for the templates. This is your starting template. It's actually one of the strongest because it's 24 with than other any nation. Now, what you want to do with this before you go to China, send volunteers to Japan and try to make it close to a 40 width with artillery. Like this, also put artillery here, and this is a great division to fight Japan, China. Also, what I like to put is here hospital or maybe logistic or signal company. All of them are great. I'm gonna go for this video with this. I think they're better, but you can switch here this one for field hospital just to keep the higher, take less casualties and keep higher experience for the division. Now for your tanks, you don't gonna do any tanks with Japan. It's not really worth it because you're fighting always on mountains and on islands. So it's not really worth it to do tanks with Japan. I'm gonna show you now their designs. Now once you get this fighter, or maybe you get the 0, you should be able to do pretty good, to have a very good fighter early. Now let me research here. You wanna get this and this, also this and this, and also here, this. Once you get a 0 down here, you should start investing on fighters. Now some fighters designs you can do. This is the fighter design game gives you when it's gonna look at 0, which is actually pretty decent. You can build this. I like to put some armor here, and you can remove this, but if you want the range you can keep it. I'm gonna remove it and put some more armor plates. And also here you want heavy machine guns, and also here you don't want this, you want heavy machine guns. And now it's a pretty decent fighter. Also here put this self-fuel tanks, self-sealing fuel tanks. Now it's a pretty decent fighter, which you can keep for the rest of the game. Now also you can build this, and when you unlock here the small airframe from here, you can do pretty much the same. Just put here the third engine, put heavy machine guns, put here the 2 cannons, self-sealing fuel tanks, and the armor, and you're ready. Now for the close air support, you wanna go here. It's pretty simple. You wanna go for the bombs here, a defense turret, and some armor. So this is gonna be your close air support. And also you wanna make a naval bomber. So you're gonna put torpedoes. And you can put also some cannons maybe. So this one here is gonna be your torpedo naval bomber, which you can use to destroy the American Navy. It's also gonna work out as a fighter. So this is about the Air Force. Now for your advisors, you don't have to worry about this one because your focus tree takes care of it here and here. For the rest of your advisors, you wanna stay on limited exports because you are already having very low resources. So free trade and export focus is not worth it for Japan, unfortunately. You wanna go for the military factory here. You also wanna take this one first for the political power. And for the rest, you can take here industrial research speed. You also really want this one. It's one of the strongest in the game, 20 agility for your airplanes. And here for your army advisors, you get this one, and you can take here 15 more sortie efficiency. Ground support is also very good, 15 more ground support. And for the rest, I like to take this one for 10 more percent infantry division attack. Now for your decision, Japan has some very interesting here decisions, which they go basically, if you take this, you can take this, if you can take this, you can take this, and if you can take this, you can take this, and it's basically the same. So you have to choose at the start of the game. I usually like to go with this one for the naval dockyards because I don't really need the extra factors at the start of the game. I can beat Japan with basically only those factories. I can beat them easily. So I usually like to go for this one. Then I also like to go with my next one. Basically, I like to go for this one. You can take this one for more population, but you already have a very high population, and you're not gonna run into many problems at the start of the game. And here, this is the next one I take here, the third one. And for your last one, I like to take this one here for the special forces attack. So the most important is to take this, or maybe even this first, and then it's this one for the lower cost production for your fighters. Now for your doctrines, you can go operational integrity here. I usually go like this, and this one is also actually very helpful. And this one it's kind of useless only if you want to play bombers. Now for your naval doctrine you can stay here on base strike, and for your carriers you can go like this and maybe like this for this bonuses here. Now for your land doctrine, I don't really like to play this with Japan. You can play this, it's not bad, but I like to go superior. I go like this for the rest of the game. So this is my doctrine. Now here on the officer corps, I go bold attack. This one, professional officer corps. And here I like to go with victory or death. Now also at the start of the game, I really like here to take flexible contracts because it gives me a very cheap political power naval designer. And here for the Air Force, this one is always useful for the 15 more research speed. Now here for your ship designer, you can put whatever you want for the bonuses. I like to take this one for the carriers, and once I finish building my carriers, I like to take this one for the lower production cost for my screens and submarines. I'm gonna put this because I want to show you the carriers right now, and I'm gonna show you for the rest of the ships, but you can always change between those. It's only 30 political power. Now for the starting carrier, it's actually pretty simple for the rest of the game. You can keep this. Here you go for the engine 2, and here you can go for the dual purpose. And this is actually a pretty decent carrier, but it's not perfect, of course. And I usually only build one of those, which is basically this, and I usually convert it. Now for your light cruisers, this is actually the most important one. I usually don't like this because it's only the anti-air one. Basically later, once you have the time and you research this one, you will get the anti-air too. Also some other very helpful researches you can do is this one, improved dual purpose battery. It gives you more soft attack for your carriers and more anti-air, so it's on battery, but it works as two. Later torpedoes for your submarines. So your first one should be basically only light cruiser battery here for maximum soft attack. Here you can put the anti-air too. Here you can keep fire control and keep on upgrading here. This is one of the fire control. If you see now, I researched it. It's gonna give us more soft, basically anti-air, but I think it gives also soft attack. Here we have the engine 2, and we're also gonna put the dual purpose 3 that we researched. And you can remove the armor if you want. It doesn't, or put the cheapest one. So this is a pretty decent one you can make. I usually like to remove the armor. It's also gonna be very strong and cheaper. And I make this. Now this is for your submarines. Also you can take, once you make the cruisers and the submarines, it's also very smart to take this one for the lower production cost, but I didn't do it for now. So yeah, that's about it for the navy. I usually take all of the navy at the start. I merge them and I press Control and click here, and I usually let them to train, and they will stop once they are full trained. Now for the later carriers, this is our new carrier, our carrier 3. You can put basically more hangar space, which means you can put more airplanes, and it's also a lot faster because of the engine, and you can take up to 8 planes, so it's pretty stronger, much stronger. Also, for your spies, you can take your spies and put them into China at the start of the game, and you can basically do a collaboration government, and once you capitulate them, you can capitulate them also faster, and it's gonna give you more factories and less resistance. So that's all about it for today. If you liked the video, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment, and see you next time.